42 degrees in the Steakager. Houston, I think we have a problem. That's this time on. This is like a 1 week follow-up on the Steakager. A few of the things that I've figured out that are kind of a problem for it. First couple of days did wonderful. Stayed right around 37 degrees and the humidity was up around 98%, but it seemed to be happy. Then, day after day after day, the temperature inside the Steakager kept going up. Now, little ditty about Jack and Diane. The readout that I have in there is an outdoor thermometer that's supposed to tell you outdoor temperature and humidity. It was never really calibrated to be that accurate, so you know, plus or minus 5 degrees maybe some ways. Now I'm figuring that the sensor pack in the Steakager, they're probably a lot more precise. According to the Steakager, the temperature never got above 39.5. But when it hit 39.5, according to the Steakager, I figured out I had to do something. So, but I was trying to figure out what. I'd read that maybe the Steakager in there caused air to flow to not work right. And then I happened to be watching my original video, and well, the end. And this scene came up. Wait, see that right there? See that frost? Could that be the problem? It just might be. So I'm gonna defrost the refrigerator this time and see if that helps. Wish me luck. I got a big old chunk of it to come off, so that helps a lot. Back under here is basically clear now, except for on the side. Oh, there goes the side now. So that's what it's supposed to look like. There's the stack of ice that I got out of there. The rest is all water inside the towel. I think she'll cool down now. Okay, here it is, all dried off and cleaned up. Still dripping a little bit, but it's ready to go. No ice whatsoever. Why do I think that my refrigerator will now keep its constant temperature? Well, all refrigerators that have freezers attached, the main fridge is cooled by their freezer. In the kitchen there, the big refrigerator, they have fans that pull the air out of the freezer and pull it into the fridge and circulate the air. That's why they're called frost-free. They keep a constant supply of air flowing through, so that it you know, tries to keep a good constant temperature. Now, cold air falls, so of course it's always going to be colder at the bottom of your refrigerator than it is at the top. On the little mini fridges like I'm using for the Steakager, that little, well, I think I'll have that little round thing there, rounded off area, that's what cools the whole refrigerator. It's considered the ice box, but it also emanates enough cold into the fridge part to keep it cold. So as any Eskimo will tell you that's ever been built an igloo out of snow, ice is a great insulator. So the thicker that ice got, the less cold it was letting out. Now ice is cold, and so it was putting off a cool cool air, but it wasn't putting off anywhere near what it should. So by taking that, in fact, by the time I started defrosting it, the frost in there was probably 2 to maybe 3 times as thick as when it first started. So getting all that frost off there helped to cool it down. In fact, it did. It dropped down to 35, and I actually ended up having to turn the thermostat down a little bit, or up a little bit, so it wouldn't get too cold. Why do I think that frosted over like that? Because, well, see my little outdoor thing that I have in there that reads the temperature and the humidity, it kept reading 98% humidity in there. Well, if you read the Steakager, it was saying it was 80% humidity in there, which is what you want to be at. The Steakager's sensors are at the very, very top of the unit. Like they're in a little hole up there. So what that means is that stuff like humidity, which, you know, humidity is water in the air, and so that makes it heavier than air, so it falls. So the humidity is going to be lower at the bottom of the Steakager than it is up around the sensors. Now, that must work to some degree because the fans that are up there, you know, they blow the air out through by the blue light. Those are supposedly supposed to pull the humidity up and into the fan and down and circulate it all around. It must work to some degree because, you know, there's that third fan on the side that blows the air out. Well, that I think that's where the moisture came from that caused the freezer part to ice over. I think there was thrown, because it's just a little bit of air, a little bit of area in there, you know, on both sides, and that fan's blowing that air out, and it's hitting that and going, and connecting to that right above it is that freezer area. So I think that's what was causing all the frost to show up. Now, as they said, after about 10 days, the crust on the outside of the meat has formed pretty good, and you're not going to get a lot of not a lot of moisture is going to be pulled out anymore after that. And now it's just the process of the enzymes and stuff breaking down the connective tissue inside and everything like that. So I think I'm going to be all right, even though frost showed up by the next day on the freezer unit. I think it's going to be able to keep it in a safe time zone. So that was a lot of fun to do, and I'm thinking that, you know, it's going to make it for the rest of the time. I'll put in some pictures of what the hunks of meat look like now, so that y'all can see how it's come along, and now it's been almost 2 weeks. Here's the meat at basically the 2-week point. Looking pretty gnarled, isn't it? Well, look what I got. A brand new spanking Steakager cover. Only one problem. They must make them smaller now because it doesn't fit. It's too small. So I'm stuck with the broken one. That sucks. See, there's a big gap there. Oh well. I'll see if I can glue that other one. I got 2 more weeks to wait, and the weeks are just kind of flying by. So in no time, we'll be cutting that dry aged beef in half and seeing what it looks like. So that's it for this edition of Steakager.